All right.
Hold on, Chief.
Are you ready?
Do I look pretty?
More than pretty. Gorgeous.
Sweet. All right.
Are we welcoming back?
Welcome you back.
Yes. Oh, no, are we welcoming?
Welcome back, everybody. Yeah, it's nice to have you here again for the first episode, second episode, third episode, or whatever we're going for.
Yeah, beautiful.
Yep. So, I'm going to get this fucking mic right. The whole point of today was no point at all, really.
That's correct.
We just came here, Daniel Malouf,
That's me.
read some poems today to the camera, and it was quite sexual. So we thought with all that built up life force as men, we thought we'd jump on and just talk some shit.
Correct. I actually thought I'd hijack this a little bit today.
Sweet.
Because Jacob said to me earlier, he said, well, I want you to give me some hard hitting questions. So I've collaborated or put together a few of some really deep and hard hitting questions for Jacob so we can learn a little bit more about him.
Oh, okay.
And what makes his inner workings and pretty much look inside to the man, the myth and the legend that Jacob Houston is. I actually don't know how to pronounce your last name, the G one.
Geschwantner.
Oh, there you go. German?
No, it's English.
Okay.
No, it's German.
Okay, beautiful. Yeah, I always see that and then I'm like, I can't pronounce it. So it's just Jacob G or Houston. Houston? Thank you. All right. So question number 1 today. Favorite Mac Miller song, first Mac Miller song. There is a Mac Miller poster behind us. That's what that came from. That's where I've got this from. So favorite Mac Miller song to start.
Woods.
Great song.
I make this planet feel like home.
Fantastic song. Favorite item of clothing at the moment.
Cut off jeans. My jeans. Yeah.
Short longs or long shorts?
Short longs, long shorts.
Yeah, cut off jeans.
Short, long shorts. Well, that fucking stumped me, didn't it? I like my middle pants.
I love that. I'm more of a full length pant man myself.
Interesting enough, because you're wearing shorts today.
Well, if I'm wearing pants, I hate wearing jeans. There's something you didn't know about me.
You also hate moving your mouth away from the mic.
That's true as well.
It's not a cock. It's okay. If it was a cock, you'd probably be all over it.
That's the truth. If you know, you know. Men's Circle knows. If you know, you know. Explain our friendship in 3 words.
Okay. New. Inspiring. And I don't know why the word corrective came in. Not sure what that means.
I like inspiring. Thank you. That really hit home for me. It's really nice.
Yeah, I think through lots of stages of life we go through different friends, and our friendship has been very new, and yeah, it's inspiring to know how quick and how deep you can drop in with new relationships. And yeah, I think if a relationship isn't inspiring you or creating new space for growth or awareness or presence, yeah, it's not really a relationship that I want to be involved in. Yeah, so I'm inspired by the way that we navigate through things. I'm inspired by the way you show up. I'm inspired by the way you love. I'm inspired by the way I speak my truth to you. I'm inspired by the way you handle that truth. Yeah, there's lots of different things.
I love that. Do you feel that, or speaking from your perspective, when we enter relationships, so whether they're relationships with new friends or relationships with partners, that sometimes we look past the inspiring bit and we're sort of searching for lower level things? Like, let me reframe that. when I know for myself, speaking for myself, that in past relationships that I've been in, when I've had them, I've had relationships that have lasted or stood the test of time. I have usually been inspired because it has made me want to be better in a lot of aspects of my life. Where do you think that people's relationships tend to have flaws? Like, do you think that people lose the inspiration for each other in a lot of cases? You know, when we say like people have been together for a long time, do you feel like that they lose a lack of inspiration from each other?
I feel like they lose the ability to be continuously truthful. I feel like that's actually the piece because, yeah, we get so comfortable, and then the comfort actually breeds a space that doesn't feel safe to communicate a deeper truth. So we inhabit a relationship in a way that if we feel like if we change, or our truth changes, or our awareness changes, if we bring that to the relationship, then it will crumble.
Why do you think that people struggle so much to tell their truths?
Because they don't know it. Yeah. Yeah, I think this is a big thing that I'll bring to the retreat is a lot of situations are getting brought up where people are like, just speak your truth. However, people's attunement to their desires and their wants and their beliefs are actually so skewed that they actually don't know what their truth is. So what they are potentially speaking as their truth is just another shadow or another avoidance tactic to what is actually truly deeply down and vulnerable. So yeah, I think the piece of speaking your truth is actually tapping into what is your deeper vulnerability.
Do you feel that a lot of people speaking from my perspective, I'm very reactive. Okay, so if I'm looking to speak something, I'll speak from a reactive sense a lot of times before I started working with you, as to now taking a moment or moments in time where I can actually tap in deep inside. Do you feel that people's inner shadow will outweigh the opportunity to speak their truth in a lot of cases? You know how like people will be rebuttal, or say you're in an argument with your partner, for example. A lot of times for me, I will be reactive in that moment, but I won't walk away, or I won't stop in that moment and have an opportunity to actually think deeper into what is the outcome here, is what am I wanting, what is my desire inside. Do you feel that there's a lot of people out there that will be more, in your case, from being in a position that you're helping a lot of men, do you feel that the men that you're around will be more reactive with their little boy or their inner shadow, as opposed to actually speaking their deeper truth?
Yeah, 100%. And if we are reactive, we're generally not in anywhere near alignment of our truth. It's just, it's regurgitation or avoidance, or I need to fix, or I need to move away from. It's being scared in those moments, and being in relationships where we don't have the opportunity or aren't being held by our partner to be safe to just sit in a bit of silence for a minute, a bit of processing time, a bit of awareness, a bit of clocking into what's happening in our internal world. A lot of relationships don't inhabit that ability, and so then we get these relationships where it's just back and forth reactions and things get said to avoid the truth.
Moving the conversation a little bit more just to you, what is something that not many people know about Jacob Houston? Like a part of yourself that not many people know?
Can you delve a bit deeper in that question to maybe prompt a piece that wants to come out? What is there where does that question come from?
There's two parts to the question, so I'll read you the second part as well. So the second part was what usually prevents you, or what has prevented you in the past. So this might lead on to something for you. So what prevents you from sharing certain parts of yourself in life?
Yep. There's two pieces. There's two answers to that. The first piece is, a lot of people have mentioned, why don't you share your story and your from to now, and yeah, a lot of the reasons behind me not sharing that is at times I'm not really inspired by it. I'm not proud. I'm not adventurous in those past times, and I hadn't experienced moments that really shine for me. That doesn't mean I haven't had beautiful experiences, but it also is just a part of my past that, yeah, it doesn't evoke a lot of storytelling for me and a lot of desire to be like, oh, so this is what I did and this is what I did and this is what I overcome. And I know that's partly because, yeah, I want to move away from that, but I know that there's power in also speaking that piece of me. And I was actually going to do a piece tonight on, yeah, who I am, where I've come from and what I am now. So then maybe that's a perfect segue into me doing that later. And then the other piece, which has only sort of dropped in over the last few weeks, is, yeah, what I thought was my vulnerability isn't necessarily my vulnerability. And, you know, being in a new relationship, which is opening up different doors for me of what I actually am fearful of. And, yeah, it's been opening up to what I believe is my weakness and my vulnerability and my softness. And so parts of those stories that I don't share, it's because I'm like, I've got this, I don't need this, I'm strong, and yeah, I don't need to share those things with you because in the end you're going to leave and you're not going to hold me anyway. So yeah, I guess I am softening into that. I am opening and I am becoming more available to share my vulnerability with everybody so that they can tap into a different part of me and see the human side of me, not just the pillar of strength that I portray all the time. So yeah.
My next question, you've just answered. So it was, how do you want people to experience you? And I believe tapping into all those parts of you, saying that you want everyone to experience all elements of you. Just a bit of a backstory to myself is that I only about 6 months ago, as you know, Jacob, was very close to committing suicide. And I was lucky enough to connect with Jacob during that tumultuous time in my life. And I'd like to share how I experience you in this moment. So I experienced Jacob in many elements. Obviously, your humour is something that I really cherish and something that makes me smile and makes me giddy on the inside a lot. But something that I experienced from Jacob, which I don't get to experience from many people in my life, is a deep aura of trust. And a lot of the work that I've been doing at the moment around my deep trauma and a lot of trauma that we all experience in my life, I can wholeheartedly say that I wouldn't be able to share the traumas with anyone else, primarily based on the fact that I don't feel safe. And so if people are listening now, one of the big things that I'd love to get across to people are the fact that we can see lots of therapists and we can see lots of people in our lives, but unless we feel truly safe sharing the stories with those people, it doesn't matter what practices or what things they're going to put into place. I don't believe that. I believe that it will be a lot harder to heal those traumas. So I experienced Jacob in a very, very deep, connective and safe space. And if I could speak to that for anyone out there that is looking for someone to mentor them and to be able to guide them, I truly believe that trauma dies in safe spaces. And without that, we're not able to be able to be vulnerable in that space. And so those parts of us that come online, those fears, those tears, those worries, those bits that we really want to heal, I believe we will find it really difficult. So it's really important. So the experience that I believe that or I know that I get from Jacob is one of sincerity, deep sincerity, care, but trust and safety being the two main things that stand out for me. I wanted to share that more because I know it's difficult sometimes to speak about yourself from experience when we're the ones, or I'm the one experiencing
Yeah.
experiencing you, which I find it is really, really important.
Yeah, thank you. It's always, yeah, I believe in the past would have been hard to receive that, but yeah, I received that with honesty and truth from you. And the piece that is relevant for me through all of that is, yeah, we want to get to a place where we create ultimate safety within. And I believe that these spaces, mentors, circle that we run here every week is a place for men to drop into the collective safety, and then giving them the ability to actually drop into their own fucking safety and their own sovereignty and power, so that they can go into the unknown, into the what is believed to be unsafe. You know, so for me, this is something I'm experiencing a lot now, is like, I want safety. I want to be in a room that makes me feel safe. It's all, in the end, not real. There is actually not much safety except for what you believe within.
Yeah.
And I believe that that's what you're cultivating within. But at the start of the journey, and in these places where we want to commit suicide, or fucking we're at our wits' ends, we are so afraid that safety is critical to open up again, to stop the body fucking curling into the fetal position and open back up to, yeah, being able to express for a place of like no shame, no judgment, no perspectives. It's like, just be you, do you. You don't have to be anything you're not right now. And yeah, that creates safety. And then you take that internal safety out into the world and start really pushing the edges of the unknown, the uncomfortable, the actual fucking scary. Because if everything's safe, it's fucking boring. You know, that's not what we're here. We're not here to play safe. We're here to create safety within. And then we're here to play all out in the realms of, yeah, nightmares.
Correct. Men's circle, leading into that, explain to us a little bit more about your belief and an understanding about the importance of a men's circle, and why do you believe it's important for us men to have a circle or a space to come to, apart from the safety piece?
Yeah, what really dropped into me today, and why I believe circle is so potent, is the fucking mirrors, the smoke and mirrors disappear. The bullshit disappears. And if you're a man that comes every week and is witnessed by those other men, there's nowhere to fucking hide. And this is the piece for me, is that you come here, you commit, you show up every week and you show yourself. And so when we see these patterns play out and these avoidance tactics, or the shit that just keeps coming up over and over again, you're able to be called out on it. You're able to be held in a safe space. Yes, it's safe. But the men that fall off are the men that don't want to be seen doing the same patterns every week. And so that is fundamentally why circle is important, is that you come here, you get witnessed, and then you get held with compassion and love, also fire and penetration at times, for not fucking showing up. You know, you don't just come sit circle and be like, oh yeah, I just went and did the same thing this week. No, because the men are going to sit there and be like, well, what are you doing? And yeah, I see the resistance of men that come that want to be like, oh, no, I can't this week, or I've got this week. Yeah, because you didn't do the shit you said last week that you were going to do. And as a man, it's fucking important to hold that piece of your word strong. And like we've talked about, this is like, you make a commitment to yourself, to other people, whatever it is. We need to show up. The shame starts to set in. The food, the sex, the tantra events, whatever the fuck it is, all those little things start to filter through again. And if you're not sitting circle every week, you just get to run those processes, you get to run those practices, and you get to just loop constantly. And you see the men that actually consistently show up every week, the changes, dramatic changes, fucking quickly, happens.
It does. I love the piece that Jacob just talked about, as the shame piece. I'm such a fucking fantastic liar. I'm so good at it. Like I can spin the biggest yarn and story internally, and then Jacob will be like, "Are you done? Are you fucking finished?" And what that does is the initial jarring for me of having to turn up, and the fear around, or the resistance. So some weeks when I'm going to turn up to circle, there is that huge resistance. It's like, I'm not going to, and I'll play these stories like, I'm just not going to talk tonight. I'll say I'm not feeling really good. I'm really, it's just been an average week, just all the bullshit until what I see is this, we speak about this thread. So something will come through and then someone will all of a sudden say something like, "Oh, Mal, didn't you have something that you needed to share?" Or the other week was a good one. I had my eyes closed the whole time during the check-in, and then Jacob says to me, "Oh, you had your eyes closed a lot tonight. Do you have something more that you want to share?" And I'm like, "Fuck." How the fuck does he know?
And this is attunement.
Yeah.
This is attunement to our brotherhood and the men and the body and the nuances and what we start to see and witness in a man, whether they speak or not. You don't need to speak to see what's going on for someone. And that's,
Agreed.
present all the time. For you, it's like the way you sit.
That's something we've been speaking about a lot lately.
You know,
it's been really cool.
And it's just simply just watching, for me, I get to watch 12 to 15 men every week really specifically and really closely, see how they receive information, how long it takes them to process, where they look, how they avoid. So it's like our check-ins may just skim over some little things, but the way a man checks in, the way he sits when he checks in, the way he moves, and whether he's like, "Oh, I don't really have much to share this week," bang, it's like, cool, what else is there?
Yeah.
Take up space. And when they usually take up space and they don't take up space, it's like, cool, what's there? And that's the nuances of sitting circle every week, is we get to see each other, we get to witness, and then we get to, because we are witnessing, we build that trust. We have the ability to penetrate.
Yeah.
And create fucking just, what are you doing?
Yeah.
That can also be in a loving manner as well, but it's generally, once the patterns set in, it's penetration that generally gets through to most men.
And the flow-on effect. Tell us a little bit more about that, because I know you're constantly talking about the flow-on effect from the men in circle and their ability to be able to then take that out into the real world. An example of that was more recently, Jacob challenged me to speak to a really close friend of mine, which was an extremely difficult conversation. I'm happy to speak about it, my good mate Kent, and actually tell him that I wasn't going to go back to Coachella over the last year, and the flow-on effect of being able to be held by another man and that stemming down the line. Tell us more about that. I feel like it's something really important, and I know that's something that you're super passionate about at the moment.
Yeah, well, I think circles fucking pointless if it's not entering into the world. We don't just come here to sit in circle to cultivate this energy and this safeness within the space. We want the men to go back to their other men, their other families, their kids, their daughters, sons, whatever it is, and to integrate the stuff that we're learning in circle, and to start to look at the nuances of their families and their friendships and how everyone shows up. It gets to ripple through everybody so that we can have an impact constantly on all the people around us. For you, Mal, you're a teacher, and like, since we've been working together, the shifts and changes that the children have had, and how you can now see in them the things that you see in circle. And I look at this for all teachers, if you change your perspective and your passion around the children, not it's just a fucking job where you have to go and you got to do what the children are doing. It's like, no, you get to witness these children every single day come with different little attitudes and little nuances and frustrations or happiness or avoidance. And it's like, you watch those kids every single day, you start to read them. You start to go, oh, that's why he's doing that. This is happening at home. This is happening. Oh, his dad's away doing this for the next 3 weeks. Oh, I can see why that kid's acting this way. And so they're the deep ripple effects, because you're a teacher, and it's like we're looking at the next generation of humans that we're helping build up, create more confidence, more awareness for themselves. And, you running little circles in class gives these kids to then pick up the nuances of their friends and how they show up. And then that's a couple of generations that we're just ripping through right now.
Yeah.
Just from you.
Yeah.
And that is, going to the cave, grabbing the gold, instead of just keeping it for yourself, going out and sharing it with everyone else, so that we can all become plentiful and rich and create, a different society. I think it's changing. Everyone talks about how crazy and fucked up the world is right now. I'm like, man, this is the most connected I've ever felt. This is the most love I've ever felt. This is the most awareness and compassion that I feel with all the people in my life. So something's working.
I agree.
Something is working. Darth Vader.
To finish on today, you are about to jet set.
Jet set on the plane.
Head over and see the big wide world. I know that you're flying to Switzerland first.
Yeah, I haven't really decided. Yeah, I was thinking about maybe Rome, but the Swiss Alps.
Okay, beautiful. Rome's very wonderful as well. something that's alive for you right now as far as a fear or or some sort of pull towards a trip?
My fear is if I don't go, I just keep living my same patterns.
Mm-hmm.
And they're not bad patterns a lot of the time. Like, I have a really beautiful life, beautiful friends, beautiful partner, beautiful experiences. But I don't have a story that inspires me.
Mm-hmm.
And that is so critical. That's my own legacy. We talk about as men leaving legacies
Mm-hmm.
for others to remember. But if you don't want to remember yourself, yeah, that hits hard for me. It's like, you want to be inspired by your own story. You want to be able to enter a room and talk about your experiences and share wisdom that comes from just being in different countries, different cultures, different art, different expression. Not having, like, I want to go over there with little money, and if I have to sleep on a bench, I'm going to sleep on a bench, and it's going to hold me in a place that is forcing me to connect with people, not avoid and seek the comfort of a hotel and all those sort of things. I'm over there to look at theatre, acting, creative workshops, run men's circles, just meet weird fucking humans that are going to impose some different wisdom on me that I wasn't aware of, or I haven't been able to access because I haven't gone on a trip that's been a quest or a pilgrimage where my desire is to experience.
Yes.
I'm not going on a holiday. This isn't a holiday. This isn't 4 or 5 months of just being in a holiday, and I get to go to Rome and I get to go to Italy and I get to tick off all the boxes. I have no fucking idea where I'm going, and I have no idea what's coming for me. And that's the unknown. That's the fear. And it's like, cool, let's embark on that and just see where I end up. Like, I might go and then be on the other side of the globe in another month. I don't know. My endeavor is to travel around Europe, then to the UK, then to Ireland, then to the Andes. Other than that, though, there's no real set plan. And yeah, my biggest fear outside of that is leaving my dog.
Yep.
Leaving my 15-year-old dog that has actually kept me from traveling a lot.
Yeah.
And yeah, I surrendered to the piece the other week where I'm like, I can't keep using this as an excuse. I can't keep breaking my own heart because I'm scared that I'm going to lose my dog. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's scary.
Something that's just dropped in. I did want to finish there, but I think it's going to be really important and it can be very potent. You spoke about legacy. I'd like you to close your eyes quickly. If tonight was your last night and you had to share one story with your son about your life, what's the first thing that comes to mind that you'd want to share with him?
Yeah, I feel like in that piece that you just dropped in that it was like I was leaving, I was dying, or I was actually exiting the earth and wasn't going to be with him anymore. Yeah, it would be to use this loss as a deeper connection to your heart, not a reason to shut it off. I'm not leaving you. I'm not abandoning you. I'm creating more space for you to grow and to experience life. And yeah, I feel like I'm speaking to him from the clouds.
Yeah.
In this moment. And yeah, it's really funny because I just watched the movie version of The Lion King the other day. And I feel like Mufasa in the sky.
Yeah.
Where it's like, you've got it all within you, you know? And yeah, I guess as a parent, it would be beautiful to be able to speak that to my child. You know, losing my mum, I never got told that. And so I've had to cultivate that my whole life. And I'm only coming to the point now at 37 years of age that I know that that's true. So yeah, if I had those pieces of wisdom, it would be, you've got it all. You've got all the pieces within you right now. And it's just up to you to believe it, you know. Yeah, I wish I had received that, and that would be the piece that I would probably deliver, yeah. What
a beautiful way to finish. I feel that that summed up exactly all of our conversations today as well, about the small bits.
Yeah.
We spoke earlier about, I have the analogy around the bits, the crusty bits around the edge of the lasagna, and they're the best bits. And it's that you actually have it all in yourself, and you can cultivate the life and the love and the care and everything for yourself just as much as you can everyone else around you, or the life that you want to have around you. And yeah, I know, just getting the opportunity now to sit here and share this moment and enjoy a Sunday afternoon when so often I would be in bed now and you know, and trying to recharge myself for another week
Me too.
It's so what a beautiful way to spend
And
the hour.
you know, sometimes we just follow the threads as they come. And I think this is such an important thing that we were talking about today, is the crispy parts of the lasagna. I feel like when you don't have awareness and you don't actually know how fucking good the crispy parts of the lasagna are, people just leave all this golden cheese around the sides, and it's like they just eat the middle soggy bit.
Yeah.
And the people that are aware and switched on and present to the moment, they wait and they take all the crispy bits, or they get in quick and they take all the crispy bits because they know that's the bit, and they sit on their fucking plate going, oh, I've got all the crispy bits.
But everyone's always stuffing themselves, right?
Yeah.
Everyone's always stuffing themselves with all the other stuff.
And everyone's left the table.
Yeah.
And then you're present going, okay.
That's it.
So why I wanted to share again on that is I had a psychedelic trip today, and
Thanks for the invite.
Yeah, sorry about that. Joe and I dropped into a psychedelic trip today, and a really explosive psychedelic trip where what I came to realize at the end is that, you know, each time we smoke and each time we work through that next layer of, oh, wow, that's a lot. It's at the end when you're still in the midst of it all, but you're like starting to come back to slowness, come back to presence. And the introspection really starts. Mm-hmm. It's like the really crazy journey was like, wow, it's so beautiful. There was so much stuff out there.
Yeah.
And I just sat there in this like fetal position, like cuddling myself. And I'm like, you don't need to be loved by everybody.
Yeah.
Oh, it's okay to be you. Mm. And all these little things just started to drop in. I was like, it's not about the trip. Mm-hmm. It's about the presence it gives you once you come back. Mm-hmm. And it felt like the cheesy parts of the lasagna. And I was like, I leant over to Joe and I was like, this is the moment. Mm-hmm. It's like we create this explosiveness, which just shatters everything, which gets us back to a point of slow stillness. And we get to drop in and go, that's why I did this. Because this is the piece that I don't get to always tap into. For me, it's really hard for me to drop into just really fucking being slow. And when I do those psychedelic experiences, all the experience is crazy, but it's the moment just as I'm coming out where it's like everything stops. And it's like the introspection comes in and I'm able to really tap into what's true, what's alive, and feel what my body wants to do. And there, weirdly enough, it sounds like the crispy parts of the lasagna, because I'm like tapped into like, oh, that's really what I'm here for.
Yep.
If anyone's cooking me lasagna, that's what I'm there for.
That's it.
And I'm there to look at someone else as I go, but like, hey, you fucking eat that bit, and sharing those experiences. And it was one of the first times in ages with these psychedelic experiences to have Joe with me. And I like my third round, I was like in the middle of it, and I like sat up and I opened my eyes and I was like, I haven't had anyone to converse with like in these positions most of the time, and you're there, and I was like started talking, I was like blah, 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 and then I was like, my whole body just went, shut the fuck up. And I just quickly laid back down. I was like, oh, like that was my avoidance. There was a piece of avoidance there, like, oh, I need to experience this with someone else. I need to and then once I was like, the medicine took over again. I was like, oh, you just need to sit down. Okay.
Yeah, there it is.
Yeah. And that's why, the plants are really, really important, I think.
Me too. It's that post. Biggsy always talks about those post-holiday blues that people talk about. You know, you come home from your trip, and then you try to fill all your life, then stuffing your face with lasagna again, right?
Yeah.
But you don't actually come home and then start to. He always says, like, think about when we went to Coachella. Think about the artists we saw. Think about the experiences you have. And it wasn't until a couple of weeks after I got back. So the same as that slowness kicks in. It's like, wow. Yeah. I did so much in this period of time, and I didn't actually give myself an opportunity to think about the things that I did, you know. And it's like, even on that psychedelic trip, it's, you did the thing, but now is the slowness where all the stuff can drop in for you.
Yeah.
Because we don't. It's what's next. I spoke about that recently. Like, what's next? What's your next running event? What's your next weightlifting event? What's your next goal? What poem you're going to write next? It's never like, hey, we're just sitting on a couch right now.
Yeah.
Like before, we were laughing about Willys.
Little cocks.
Yeah, we were just laughing about funny names for podcasts and stuff. But it's just more about those. They're the moments.
Yeah, and I actually caught all that on footage. So it's about being present in the moment to catch the stupid stuff as well. Because that's a memory now.
It is.
It's a memory that we've got in our head, but I was like, oh, I'm going to catch this because there's no feeling.
That'll be in the outtakes, maybe.
I feel like
there was a bit of yelling.
Yeah.
About other people as well.
I feel like the word nuance has come into my world a lot, and I probably need to think of some other synonyms to be more creative and poetic with my words so that I can validate myself through my expression.
A bit of that going on.
Yeah, just come from the heart, Jacob. It doesn't matter what your words are. But even though I hear people speak poetically, and at times I believe that that's not me. So yeah, just so the people out there can see the parts of judgments that I have on myself and the desires to want to articulate better. But yeah, right now nuances is the word, so fucking deal with it. I believe that nuance is such a fucking important word because it's like, cool, you're looking at all the little things. Yeah. And once you bring that word into your awareness, you're like, oh, what are the nuances? Like, why have you got those two dots there? And, like, why are they there? And what's that? Why are you wearing those shorts today? And they're just really stupid fucking examples, but I'm aware of them. I'm aware of how you're sitting and how you sit, and that's important to me.
Yeah, what's dropping in for me right now, once again, is just that nuance equals presence.
Yeah.
And that's it. Like for me, because that's something I didn't understand. I've for 40 years of my life, I haven't understood. I'd never understood what being present means.
Yeah.
I understood what giving presents were. That makes me feel good. It's the what's next thing for me. So it's like, I'll do this to receive this. And we've spoken about that constantly. Like, I give love, Daniel gives love to receive love. As opposed to I'm laughing because I'm here and not worrying about whatever else is going on. So it's really amazing when you can actually take that step, like you speak about, Jacob, to the next level, and know that next level is not even there. It's so far down here still. You think you get to the top of the mountain and you're like, oh yeah, that was the crest. I haven't even put my backpack on the start of my journey yet. So
and I think the nuance piece of me dropped in circle ages ago with Daryl, and one of the other men. Like, I had a penetration of one of the men in circles. And it was quite like, poof. And one of the other bros was like, messaged me later. He's like, oh, that's just not how I would handle it, man. It's not how I would, approach that man with love. And I said, what has been your opinion of that other man for the last 3 months? Have you noticed this? Have you noticed this? Have you noticed this? Have you noticed this? And he's like, nah. No. I said, well, that's the fucking nuance. Yeah. And that's why he gets penetrated like that, because I've been looking at those things every single week. You're not facilitating this, so you don't see and you don't concentrate on the things and how that person shows up every week and how I had delivered softness and I had delivered love and I had shown up in a different way, and that just wasn't working. Yeah. So I get to like look at the nuances and keep going, okay, well, I'm going to try this week and I'm going to try this week and then I'm going to try this. And then I go bang and everyone just goes, oh, he just went bang. That's where he's coming from. Yep. It's like, nah. Yep. So the thing that's dropping in for me when I just did my trip is you don't need to be loved by everyone. And what I'm seeing is that people aren't going to see the little things that you see every day and the way that you show up and the way that you handle something. They're just going to see what they want to believe is their reaction or the big thing that happens, and they're going to judge you on that, and they're not going to love you on that. And that's okay, because they're not here to witness your life on all of its entirety. That's why we have close friends. That's why we have partners, why we have people that witness us fucking deeply and see us to a level that makes us feel loved. And I think that just dropped into me. It's like, why we don't need to be loved by everybody, because no one's going to love you because they don't see the way that you see all the beautiful things and how you react to them.
That's so beautiful. All I was saying was just all the men eating their own lasagnas, and I'll tell you why quickly. Because a lot of men are stuffing their faces in circle. And sorry, I'm speaking for Mike because I can't speak for the other men, but I'm stuffing my face with the lasagna while you're waiting and looking at the crispy bits because I'm more worried about my ego and my problems. So when I'm sitting there, I'm worried about my shames, my problems, my egos, whereas you, I believe, are turning up on both sides. You're turning up with your stuff. Okay. So you know that you're always like, I've got stuff that I want to talk about tonight. And also you are witnessing every man really so much more in my eyes because you're actually wanting to witness them. And that's the hard piece. It's when we turn up or when we're in conversation with someone, are we actually fucking listening to them?
Yeah.
Or are we formulating our own stories that we want to one up or tell them at that point in time?
Yeah.
You know, so that's what I was thinking. Like while you were talking, I was formulating, I was definitely listening, but I was also thinking that's where I'm at still.
Yeah.
I'm still like, but when I turn up to circle, my problems are so bad.
Yeah.
I have so many issues. I have so much shame. But it's also like, it's okay, bro. Just turn up, talk about the stuff, and that's okay. You're safe, and also witness.
Yeah.
The other men
too. People forget to witness, and the what I want from Circle is all the men to lead. I don't want to be the facilitator. I don't want to be the person that sits on the chair that leads every week. And you'll see, you know, the way I sit Circle is like I fucking challenge people to challenge others to step in the seat. I don't want to fucking sit here every week. I want you men to sit here equally next to me. And you know, when we did King's Chair the other week, the thing, and this comes from open world as well and being aware of certain things, is that, you know, when we're doing King's Chair, which is a powerful process, and we deliver information to a man that can be quite hard to receive, and we go popcorn style and we deliver information, and I had to say it like 3 or 4 times that when someone delivers him something, sometimes that man needs a second to actually just process what he's just been told. But other men's egos gets in the way. Oh, I have something really good that I want to hit you with. So I'm going to hit you with that. And it's like, bang, bang, bang. And this guy's like, and I'm like, hey, does anyone realize that he's not actually receiving that right now? You're not giving him the opportunity to sit in that. And everyone's like, oh. And then it goes again. And then it's like, oh, I've got a really good one. Bang. And it's like, cool. Your awareness just switches off straight away. And it's this care, because we want to implement the bit of wisdom or something. It's like, he's not actually listening to you right now because you haven't given him the opportunity to feel into the pain that he's just received from that comment. You've just punched him with something else.
Yes. So listeners out there, something that you might be able to take from that is that, you know, if your heart, earlier on we spoke about speaking your truths. If you're speaking your truth to your best friend or your partner, give them the opportunity to, because it's at the point in time when you're delivering it, it's usually going to be uncomfortable for you. So it's hard. But give that person the opportunity then as well to receive that. It's probably going to jar them emotionally, a part of their body. That could also link with another trauma or something else that's inside of them. So they're going to need processing time.
Yeah.
And it's not something that we give people the opportunity to do, because you can either swipe right or you can click up or you can watch the next reel. But when it's live and you're actually having to speak it then and there, the other person needs an opportunity to feel that emotion.
Yeah.
Open up that emotion, and then sometimes hold that emotion for a while too. Because for me, a lot of they're new emotions. I don't fucking know what they are. I'm like, I don't know what this is. Like, I've never felt this before.
And we can simplistically put it to like, hey, you're out with a group of friends and everyone's talking and you just notice that person that never fucking says anything. It's because you haven't given them the opportunity to talk. And if you say something to them, sometimes men or women take this like extra, like, hang on, what did he just say? cool. Yeah, I'm processing. Oh, so then the other person talks because they're uncomfortable.
Yeah.
So just he was just about to talk. Oh, you cut him off again.
Yeah.
You
Because it's weird, right? Like it's like
it's the silence.
Yeah.
It's the silence piece. No one wants to sit in silence. It's like,
Yeah.
that's the gold, because it means something good's coming, because no one's talking for the sake of having to talk, and they're ready to actually just observe and listen and sit in what is believed to be uncomfortable. I love the silences.
Me too. And if you're listening, something that I'd love you to try is in those moments, Jacob's taught me something that he does is just close your eyes, take a deep breath, and go to that part of you that is exposed, and you can have an opportunity to talk to it, or just feel what's alive for you in that moment. And sometimes you don't have to fucking say anything. You can just open your eyes and say, I don't actually know what it is right now, but I'm going to sit with that for a while, and that's fucking okay.
Yeah.
Like that is okay.
I don't want to respond to this right now because I don't have any clarity, or I don't want to talk is an okay thing to say.
So, yeah, and I don't have capacity, or you know what, right now, I actually just don't know what it is.
Well, especially if you haven't done a lot of work, it's like, I'm really fucking triggered. And I feel like I'm just going to respond because that's what you want. So it's going to come out with a whole bunch of bullshit. And I'm sorry, but hey, do you mind if I just say nothing?
Yeah. It's so beautiful.
Yes.
To finish up today.
For the third time.
I know. It's so good. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
What are you most grateful for today?
Yeah, I am grateful for this. I'm grateful for it, similar to what you said before, is like at times I believe that I need to isolate and be myself to recharge and to nourish myself. And I also love being in creative space. Yeah. I didn't go down to a movie shoot last night because I just knew that I just needed some time for myself, which just gave me the opportunity to be a bit more frivolous with my time today and be open and catch up with a few friends and do the things that were like, this feels like a Sunday. It feels like this whole day has extended its time.
Yeah, it has. It's been so slow.
Usually Sundays are like, oh, fuck, the day's over.
Yeah,
and I went here and I drove back from Byron and I'm back here now. It's like, I've got to go to work now.
Yeah.
And I think it's like 3 o'clock. Is it 3 o'clock?
It's only 3:30, which is so cool.
Yeah. And
so early still.
Yeah, that feels like I've just gotten so much done today. So I'm really just present in the moment of honouring myself yesterday and finding it really hard to make a choice of missing out on something, but also just knowing what my fucking body needed so that I could be more present today and feel more nourished today. I did my slow cooker last night. My food's prepped. Your food's prepped. I went out to breakfast with people. I went for a walk on the beach. And now, we don't know, we've probably done this for an hour. You filmed some poems. It's like, this feels fucking really good. So I feel really nourished right now. So I'm grateful for that.
Me too. I'm also grateful for this creative space. So this is something that I really want to do a lot more of, regardless of podcasting or writing my poems, but just taking the time to enjoy the creative space, because it's not something that I have tapped into enough. And I'm noticing that I'm getting the same feeling from this as I get from my running.
Yeah.
You know, it's like it's different, same, but different, if you know what I mean.
Promise this will be the last segue. But it's my retreat. It's leading into the men that are just yearning for this fucking creative expression. If a podcast is the thing that's creative expression, like we've been able to muck around today, formulate questions of creativity and expression and to knowing, and doing anything in a format like this is creative. It's art, it's an expression. And that's what this retreat is fundamentally about for me. It is involving all the shadow work, the inner child work, the body movement, the native connection to land. That is all very much present, but it's like, I want to put men in a space together that's fucking awkward and feels scary, so that they can understand what it feels like in the real world to be expressive and to be witnessed in that expression, in a creative expression. Because men that can pump their chests and they can do all the things and they can roar and they can hit these retreats and be really powerful, and then they go back to life and they don't actually know how to creatively express. And that's like the creative part, the arts part is actually the piece in a man that is lost. And they're looking for this piece of like, how do I express myself outside of just pumping my chest or playing football or being masculine and there's so many aspects to creativity. It can be drawing, it can be dancing, it can be doing a podcast, it can be whatever it is, writing poetry. And the more that we as men tap into that, but have a space where they can be witnessed. And like, I'm not going to lie, and this retreat's going to push the boundaries of how it feels to express in vulnerability, but in creativity.
Yeah.
Because I feel like the creative space is actually it's more scary.
Yeah.
Because it's untapped energy and it's a place that's been shut away for such a long period of time.
Yeah.
So I'm just really excited for the retreat, and it's starting to really formulate. I'm starting to really see what it all looks like. And that's why sometimes they like, sell it before you create it. And it's me, it's just really created itself with my own experiences and my own expression. And yeah, being able to bridge the gap between men's work and creative expression and alignment and truth and desires and sexuality, and it's all coming into the one space. It's going to be really fucking fun.
I love it.
Yes.
Thank you.
What could be our sign out?
I was going to say on the couch with Jacob and Mal.
Or Malentine with Jacob. Malentine and signing out with Malentine and Jacoby. Malentine and Jacoby.
Two fucking idiots.
Signing out, two fucking idiots.
yeah.
Malentine and Jacoby.
Thank you for your time and thank you for your ears.
And your small cocks. No, thanks, bro. It's
been great.
Appreciate the time.
Yeah, I appreciate you.
See, hopefully we can get some edits out of this, something that just makes sense or is usable. Peace.
Peace. Oh my God, that was so much fun. That was so cool. Oh, that was like a therapy session.